Batman Dylan Dog issue number 1 from DC Comics. So what a weird crossover. Of all the characters that you can have crossing over with Batman, Dylan Dog was not one that I was expecting to ever happen. So yeah, for anyone unfamiliar with Dylan Dog, he is a very popular character in Italy. He has an Italian horror series that started in the mid to late 80s. And he's basically, I guess you can kind of describe him somewhat like John Constantine in the sense that he's a paranormal investigator and he takes on cases that deal with the supernatural. So stuff like vampires, werewolves, zombies, things like that, ghosts, demons. That's kind of like his alley. And yeah, I'm a huge fan of the Dylan Dog movie. I guess I should say movies, since Cemetery Man is also considered a Dylan Dog movie. I've read some of the comics, not as much as I would have liked, because unfortunately there's not a lot of Dylan Dog series that have been translated in English, or at least none that I can get my hands on. Hopefully we'll get more. But yeah, let's just kind of jump into it. So we got a prologue, and the prologue is some guy delivering a message to Joker, because of course we got to have the Joker in this. Because the Joker's got to be in everything. He's basically like Harley Quinn now, where we got to have them in everything. I'm a little bit annoyed by this. I think we could have done another character other than Joker. I'm just tired of Joker, just like I'm tired of Harley Quinn. But whatever. So this guy shows up with the letter. Joker takes the letter, shoots the guy dead, and then he reads the letter, and it's from Dr. Xabaras. And Dr. Xabaras is basically the #1 rival for Dylan Dog, for anyone's like unfamiliar. He's basically like Dylan Dog. He's to Dylan Dog what the Joker is to Batman, what Lex Luthor is to Superman. And it turns out that this is what I'm assuming, but I think not long after Joker had his face all messed up, in the sense that he became like pale and looks like a clown. He went to see Dr. Xabaras, and Dr. Xabaras basically said, "I could change your face back to normal, but why would you want me to do that? You would just look ordinary." And Joker says, "Well, I don't want to remain a monster." And Dr. Xabaras gives this pretty interesting line. He's like, "The word monster comes from the Latin monstrum, which in ancient times referred to a marvel, a wonder. Normal people have normal faces, but you have an extraordinary face. Why would you want to get rid of that?" And Joker, since then, he decides, you know what, maybe Dr. Xabaras is right. And so he keeps the face. Then he tortures this girl. And that's when Batman shows up too late. And he swears to find Joker and finish him off. And then we get to see Dylan Dog and his past with Dr. Xabaras, where Dylan Dog is strapped to a table with this girl, as well as his butler, Groucho. And Groucho is basically Groucho Marx. Like, he looks exactly like Groucho Marx. He's like a Groucho Marx impersonator. He's also Dylan's sidekick. And yeah, he basically is always like cracking puns, hitting on women, things kind of like that. They didn't really translate Groucho's humor too well in this comic. Like, here, the funny one-liners and stuff don't really work. But yeah, they're strapped to a table. Dr. Xabaras is going to inject him with this drug that's going to kill him and turn him into a zombie and undead. And Dylan Dog is able to trick him by asking him, like, "Hey, before you kill me, will I be able to have one last request? I want to play the clarinet for a final time." And so he gives Dylan Dog his clarinet box. And Dylan Dog opens it up, and then he plays a song on the clarinet. And then Dr. Xabaras is like, "All right, you're done. Let me kill you now." And Dylan Dog reveals that this box is booby trapped. If you don't open it a certain way, it's going to go off in 3 minutes. And Dr. Xabaras is like, "That's got to be a bluff." But it turns out it's not a bluff. And the thing explodes, sets the place on fire. Dr. Xabaras gets caught in, and he starts burning. And Dylan Dog and Groucho and the girl make their escape. And yeah, as they're escaping, the building blows up. And a bunch of zombies show up and walk into the flames. And Dr. Xabaras, like, as he's dying, swears that he'll get revenge again. And so that's when we cut to, I guess, the present. Like, that was like the prologue. Now we get to the main beef of the story. The main beef of the story is Batman tracks down this thug, and he's trying to find out where's Joker at. And then he finds out that Joker is in London. And so we cut to London where Joker and Croc are at. I like how Croc is just wearing this trench coat and a hat. It's very much like the Turtles disguise in the old 80s cartoons, as well as the OG comics, where they just have like a trench coat and a hat, and that's like good enough to hide their identity. Like no one seems to be aware that there's this giant 8 foot tall crocodile man walking amongst them. Then we also see Selina Kyle, Catwoman. And Catwoman is hooking up with Dylan Dog. The two of them like bang, they have sex when Bruce Wayne shows up. So Bruce Wayne shows up to see his girl getting plowed by Dylan Dog. That's weird. I don't know like what the timeline is for this. If this is supposed to be like set within the canon verse, like what? Obviously, I don't think this is canon to the main storyline, but it's got to follow some kind of canon story, right? So I don't know what canon universe this is part of, but I'm hoping it's not the main run because yeah, they would kind of suck to like try to marry this girl and then she dips out on your wedding and then she goes to London and bangs some other dude. But yeah, basically Bruce and Dylan Dog talk for a little bit. Bruce is trying to get information on Dr. Xabaras, and Bruce just straight up tells Dylan Dog like he doesn't like him. He thinks Dylan Dog is a charlatan, that he is basically taking advantage of people believing in the supernatural to make money off them. Like he thinks he's like a grifter. And Dylan is like, well, I don't like you. Like you're rich, but you didn't come to earn your money. All you did was you were born into it. You're just arrogant. You inherited your fortune. But I'm broke, so if you need help, if it pays well, I'll help you. But he refuses to tell anything about Dr. Xabaras. He basically just says, well, if you want to talk to Dr. Xabaras, then you got to use a seance because he's dead. And as Bruce leaves, Bruce knows that Dylan is lying, that he knows more about Dr. Xabaras than he's telling him. But Dylan also knows that Bruce is lying, that Bruce wants more with Dr. Xabaras than just to talk with him. So, yeah, these two have a very conflicting relationship. I'm not going to explode too much, but eventually they go to try to investigate Dr. Xabaras. They get attacked by Killer Croc. Zombies show up. The zombies kidnap Groucho and Selina. And then Batman refuses to work with Dylan Dog because he's like, I work alone. And Dylan Dog's like, well, if we want to save these people, we got to work together. So it's just kind of one of those whole like, will they be able to work together, won't they, kind of situation. And yeah, I'm not going to go into more details on that because I think you should read it for yourself. I will say I enjoyed it. Some things I didn't care for too much. Mostly, I don't feel like Selina needs to be in this issue. Like, she doesn't need to be in this series at all. You could have done it without Selina. But apparently, the artist, that was like one of his requirements, was that if he was going to do this series, Selina had to be in there. I also don't care so much for Joker being in it. I wish they could have done something else. Maybe get like a doctor from Batman's Rogue Gallery to team up. So you have like, one doctor teaming up with another doctor. I don't know. I'm kind of tired of Joker at this point. I feel like we see Joker in everything. So I would have liked to see, Batman series where Joker isn't one of the main villains. But other than that, the only thing that I feel like the series kind of misses is Groucho's humor. I feel like they didn't really land the humor with Groucho in this. Like the one-liners aren't really that great. Like Groucho's kind of like, he's supposed to be kind of like goofy and comedic and aloof. He's supposed to kind of set off a contrast between Dylan Dog. Dylan Dog is a little bit more like on the moody side, whereas Groucho is more of like the aloof, happy-go-lucky kind of somewhat character. And so they contrast each other. Whereas here, not so much. With that said, though, it's great to see Dylan Dog in a series that I can actually read and understand. Because like I said before, there's not that much Dylan Dog that's been translated. And the few that have are very, very hard to get your hands on. At least for me, it's been that way. Yeah, Dylan Dog is awesome, so I'm great to see him here. Again, really weird, really, really, really weird crossover. Also, I find Batman just a little bit off as well. Like one of the things that he doesn't like about Dylan Dog is he truly believes Dylan Dog is a charlatan. Like he's like, there's no such things as werewolves and vampires and ghosts and stuff. And I'm like, wait, you're Batman. Like you fought off against these kind of creatures before. I mean, you're literally fighting off against an 8-foot tall lizard man. Why does a werewolf not make any sense to you? Like, you fought against these kind of creatures before. It's really weird. I mean, Batman is aware of Justice League Dark. He's aware of Constantine. Does he think Constantine is a charlatan too? I mean, I guess Constantine is kind of a dick, but the things that Constantine is fighting are real, just like the things Dylan is fighting are real. So it's really weird for Batman not to believe in this stuff when he's literally been either personally involved or around other people that have been involved in this kind of stuff. But whatever. Yeah, I enjoyed this. I thought this was good. I am definitely going to be checking out the rest of the issues in this series. I'm glad to see Dylan Dog. Maybe the series can become popular enough that we'll get more of him, either in more crossovers or just, someone being like, hey, maybe we should translate more Dylan Dog over to the US. That'd be pretty nice. I'd love to see more Dylan Dog. But yeah, there you go. I'm kind of rambling at this point. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you next time. Take care. Later. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I still want to thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next one is more to your liking. With that said, thank you once again, and I hope you guys and gals have a good one. Later.